Morning all, if you are seeing a black screen, I think another here, please. I'm sorry. If you are seeing a black screen with the City of Fort Lauderdale logo, you are in the right place. When your case is called, you are promoted to panelists in the hearing room. Please unmute your device and start your video as you must be sworn in. If you hear your case called and you are not brought into the hearing room, please utilize the raise hand function and our moderator will assist you. Please do not use the raise hand function for general questions. Once your case is complete, you may log out of the hearing. Please ensure that you are in a quiet area during the hearing, free from distractions, and are logged into one device only. Once the hearing is completed, the final order will be sent to the address of record in the Broward County Property Appraiser's Office via US mail within 3 to 5 business days. One moment. Our first case, I'm sorry. Welcome to our June 15, 2023 special magistrate hearing for the building division. Our first case will begin on page 1. Senior Inspector Alejandro Del Rio. Property address 2729 East Oakland Park Boulevard. Owner Can-Am Oakland Properties LLC. Case number BE 23020008. Notice posted at the property on 5/24/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23. Good morning, Mr. Constant. Can you please start your video? His video's on. I'm sorry, unmute yourself.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes, I swear.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't, sorry. One moment, Mr. Constant.
Yes, no worries.
We have Mr. Gattis and Mr. Fernandez. Let's see if he's there.
You didn't swear or stutter?
Oh,
No.
God, yes. Sorry. Is Douglas in the room already? One moment.
Mhm.
Jerry, we need to bring Douglas in the room as well.
Okay, I'm on mute now. I clicked the button. I'm on mute.
Okay.
Sir, you have to go in as a panelist.
Is it, I'm sorry, inspectors, if there's anyone who wishes to speak at today's proceedings, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Gattis and Mr. Fernandez.
Yeah,
Good morning. Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
yes,
I do.
Okay, thank you, Inspector.
Building Inspector Alejandro Del Rio for the city, presenting case as read. This case was opened on February 1st, 2023. Property was cited for the following violation. Florida Building Code 2020, Section 111.1.1. The use of this commercial space have been changed from cigar shop to fitness center without obtaining a certificate of occupancy. An inspection report was mailed to the property owner on February 14, 2023. Final notice was mailed to the property owner on March 15, 2023. Notice of hearing was posted at the property on May 24th, 2023. The city is requesting 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
Okay, who's speaking first on behalf of the property owner?
I can. I'm the property manager.
Okay, all right. Are you in agreement with the city's request for 63 days or $50 a day thereafter?
Well, we requested a change that needs to be done because according to our rental agreement is responsibility of the tenant. And we've been communicating with the tenant. We're sending him a notarized letter through our lawyer as well. And the tenant's being, communicating with us well. And actually, I will let him explain what's going on.
Okay,
Thank you, Mr. Fernandez. I'm Samuel Constant, the tenant at said property. It has been my opportunity to reach out and be in contact with Inspector Del Rio, who explained the process to me on how to go about fixing this. I have the plans that I will drop later on today at your facility to really show a good faith effort on really remedy the situation.
okay, that's very good. Can you get it wrapped up in 63 days?
Yes, as of today, the notarized plan of obtaining the after the fact permit. I think that's how it's called. Mr. Del Rio told me that's what needed to be done so that I can bring the situation to a close with the building department. So,
Okay, so I'm going to grant their request of 63 days to bring the property into compliance or face a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
yes, ma'am, it should definitely be done.
Okay, if you run into a problem, make sure you keep in touch with the inspector.
Yes, and not to say anything, I know the inspector was out for a couple of days, but I do have in my phone records attempt at least every other week to try to reach the inspector and to leave messages. So maybe is email a better way for you, Inspector Del Rio?
That could be a good idea.
Okay, so I will do that then, because I've been calling and that hasn't really worked. So
Okay.
yes, today
Thank
this
you
will
very
be done. Mhm.
Okay, thank you. Gentlemen, you're free to go.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I told you.
One moment, please. I'll wait for IT. Why didn't you give it to me this time? I don't have it. Our next case is on page 2, Inspector Justin Dreschel. Property address 805 Cordova Road. I'm sorry, 805 Cordova Road, owner Michael and Carolyn Redmond, case number BE 2301-0031. Notice posted at the property on 5/26/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23. Hi, Mr. Romney Rogers, can you please join as a panelist?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I do.
Thank you. Justin.
Inspector Justin Dreschel on behalf of the city presenting case and address as read. Inspector Suarez originally responded to this property on January 13th, 2023, and he observed the following violation as depicted in his photos. 8-144.6, there are attachments penetrating the city of Fort Lauderdale seawall. As per the resolution, no penetration is permitted. Inspection report was sent to the property owner listed in BCPA on February 8th, 2023. Final notice was sent to the property owner listed in BCPA on March 21st, 2023. After review with zoning chief Bert Ford, the case is not in compliance due to the engineer letter not being submitted to the city for review at this time. I believe we spoke this morning that the engineer letter was submit, but it hasn't been reviewed yet. So we're just waiting on the review for that. The city is requesting 63 days to bring the property into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
Okay, sir, Can you please state your name for the record?
Yes, Romney Rogers, Rogers Morrison Ziegler Law Firm.
Okay, welcome. Mr. Rogers, is your client in agreement to bring the property into compliance within 63 days or face a fine of $50 a day?
Well, I do believe it already is in compliance, and I did send the engineer letter and spoke to Mr. Ford yesterday. He advised me that he would review it, and I tried to call him this morning. I have not heard, I didn't hear back from him, and he was going to send somebody out to see that the corrections have been made. So I think everything is in compliance. If there's some other information that I don't already have, I would like to know that. But at the end of the day, we have submitted everything. That these are all pictures that you're seeing, of course. So I thought that the code inspectors are supposed to go out and take pictures the day before, and I guess nobody's been out there to take pictures again. So.
Well, the pictures are not necessary for this because the pictures are not going to determine whether or not the property is in compliance. What's going to determine compliance is the engineer letter that Bert Ford is reviewing.
Yeah, well, I submitted it, and he said he would review it, so.
Okay, Mr. Rogers, so 63 days should be more than ample time to get that done and hopefully close out the file.
No, I would agree with you there. I just don't want to say that they should be fined if they don't, so. Because I was depending on the city to review it and to address it at this time, but I understand the position. I just want to make myself clear that I'm a little disappointed in the fact that it hadn't been addressed.
Okay, all right, well, I'm sure it'll be addressed and it will be addressed timely and you'll get notice if there's any problem.
Yeah, and I just want to make it clear that that's the only thing that we're waiting on is the engineer letter, because
That's my understanding.
I spoke earlier, there was a permit that was issued. So Justin earlier said there wasn't a permit, but there was. So I just want to make sure that that's the only thing we're dealing with.
Okay, anything else, Inspector, other than the engineer's report?
No, the engineer report is the only thing that's necessary.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, take care.
Thank you.
Our next case, Senior Inspector Alexander Alvarez. On page 20, this case was ordered to reappear. Property address 200 South Birch Road, owner Leisure Beach, excuse me, Leisure Beach Association, Inc., case number BE 23030194. This case was first heard on 5/18/23 to comply by 6/15/23, one section not complied at $100. You got Jerry's three of them. So okay. And Natalie, where is she? She was on there, Gutierrez. She was there. Mhm. Did she log on? She was there for a while. There she is. Good morning, Mr. Young, Mr. Pitchman, and Ms. Gutierrez.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing today?
Good, how are you?
Doing well. My name is, as you said, Natalie Gutierrez, and I represent Leisure Beach as the General Counsel.
Okay, I need all of you to please raise your right hand so you can be sworn in. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I do.
Yes.
I do.
Thank you. Go ahead, Inspector.
Good morning. Alexander Alvarez, Inspector for the city, updating you on case number and address as read. Property was cited for violation of Florida Building Code, Broward County Amendment 2020, Section 116.1 of safe structure for the onset balconies at the building. Property was also cited for violation of City Ordinance 9-280C, inside and outside stairways, porches, balconies, hallways, corridors, and all appurtenances thereto shall be maintained in a safe condition and capable of supporting the loads set forth in the Florida Building Code. This case has not yet been compliant. However, the engineer has provided an updated report indicating that onset balconies have been secured, and they are currently working into getting case in compliance. They're here today to provide an update, and at this time, I would let them speak.
Okay. Ms. Gutierrez?
Thank you, Madam Magistrate. Like the inspector said, the last time we were here, the special magistrate ordered that all balconies be blocked off from access. Additionally, requested a signed and sealed letter from our engineer with updates on the project, timelines of where we're going moving forward, as well as a recertification that the building itself is safe for its intended use. That signed and sealed letter has been provided. You will see it in the supporting materials that I uploaded, as well as the inspector does have it. It does confirm that the balconies were blocked off. It shows the manner by which they were blocked off. All balconies in the building were, not just those that had been highlighted in the initial violation. It does explain what we intend to do at the association. And so that everybody is aware, if you weren't here last time, the association is going to do a full concrete restoration project. That is its aim and its goal. It already passed a special assessment and it's well on its way to getting there. It's already hired a project management team. It's in the process of finalizing the specifications it needs in order to complete the shoring project at the association, in order to hire the contract for their full contract restoration project. We do have our engineer here today to explain what those timelines are really going to look like. Unfortunately, these projects don't happen in a day. They are very thorough projects that require, milestones and really specific, more than just a week's notice in order to complete a full project of this scale. Of course, our engineer is here to give us just more realistic timeframes, but we have been in compliance and in great communication with the building inspector so that they are aware of everything that we're doing, and we're doing everything in our power as the association to comply. In the next 60 days, as you will see outlined in the report that was submitted by the engineer, and I should mention that we expect to be submitting regular reports probably every 60 days, unless the special magistrate wants us to do it a little more frequently. We are considering the contractor's equipment and manpower to perform the work. The association is currently negotiating all of its contracts to get this underway. I believe by today, there'll be permit application for floor covering and shoring that's expected to be submitted. And then we're going to commence flooring covering removal of all of the balconies to really start this project. And that should be underway probably by July 2nd. So I think that the association is on its way to not just complying with the violation that was issued, but really making sure that the entire building doesn't see a problem like this in the future. So we would ask that the special magistrate push us to another status report, probably within 60 days realistically, so that we can show you all of the work and progress that's been done in the last 60 days.
Okay, any objection from the city to regular 60-day reports?
Yes, the city supports a 63-day extension and requests a mandatory reappearance in 63 days to provide a new update and reports within the next magistrate every 60 days.
Okay, is that acceptable to you, Ms. Gutierrez?
I believe it's fair.
Okay, all right, so I'll see you again in 63 days on my August 17th calendar, and then you can all update me then.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Alice, you have the next case, page 9. Our next case is at the bottom of page 9, Senior Inspector Alexander Obores, property address 2070 Northwest 27th Lane, case number BE 221000138, owner Max Lewis, Rosemary Florexel. Notice posted at the property on 5/25/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Miss Rosemary, can you please raise your right hand?
Yes,
Living room.
Okay. Oh, okay. Will Max Lewis be speaking also? Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth? Oh, keep your right hand up, please.
Yeah.
Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes, ma'am.
yes.
Thank you.
Alexander Alvarez, Building Inspector for the city, on behalf of Inspector Corley, who no longer works at this division, presenting case number and address as read. According to case records, Inspector Corley initially visited the property on November 1st, 2022, and found that a new wooden fence had been installed without permit. The property was cited for violation of Florida Building Code, Section 105.1, work without permit, including but not limited to a wooden fence. The case was opened 10/31/2022. Inspection report was mailed to the property owner on 11/2/2022 with 30 days to come into compliance. Final notice mailed December 12th, 2022. Records show permit application BLD-FEN-22110056 for an after the fact wood fence. Status is awaiting client reply as of December 21, 2022. The city is requesting for the magistrate to find the violations exist and grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. City is also requesting final order to be reported.
Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Max,
Yes,
okay. Are you in agreement to close out that permit, get everything done in, within 63 days?
yes,
Okay, do you understand that you have, it's gonna require some action on your part on the permit?
yes,
Okay, all right, so 63 days or a fine of $50 a day thereafter. If you run into any problems, make sure you contact the inspector.
So I'll try to call, I call him many times, he's not answering.
The case is now assigned to Inspector Alvarez. You should have notification in the mail.
Okay, I went to the building and then I applied for the permission, but they don't give me any answer. And they give me a number. The number they give it to me, I was calling, keep calling, and then nobody answered me.
On your permit application, the contact that you provided under the permit application, you should have notifications of the plans, permit status get sent to the contact information you provided in the permit application. You can call me. I can give you my number now, 954.
Wait for me, please. Say nice. Repeat again, please.
954-828.
828.
6564.
6564. Okay.
Call me
Thank you.
later today. You got it.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Order to be recorded.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Something more.
Midfield.
Yeah.
Big on me.
Our next case is on page 10, Senior Inspector Alexander Boris. Property address 2142 Northwest 8th Street. Case number BE 221000006. Owner Vilande Isme and Whistler Isme Jolme. Notice posted at the property on 5/25/23, posted at City Hall 6/23. Good morning. Good morning, can you please?
Good morning. What did you say? Can you repeat that?
Are you only on one device at this time?
I am, but he's here.
Okay. Okay, and who's Valande?
This is me.
Oh, okay, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceeding?
Yes.
Thank you. Go ahead, Inspector.
Alexander Albores, Building Inspector for the city, on behalf of Inspector Corley, who no longer works at this division, presenting case number and address as read. According to case record, Inspector Corley initially visited the property on October 18, 2022, and had no access. Later, after researching, Inspector Corley found that the property was being listed as a triplex with only 2 electrical meters. Records show certificate of occupancy issued for 2 units dated December 11, 1979. Also, surveys attached to permit number 01030410 dated March 27, 2001 shows duplex. The property was cited for violation of Florida Building Code Section 105.1, work without permit, including but not limited to building converted from duplex to triplex without obtaining the required permits. The case was opened October 4, 2022. Inspection report mailed to the property owner November 2nd, 22, with 30 days to get into compliance. Final notice was mailed December 12, 2022. Record show permit application BOD-RDEM-230400001, status awaiting client reply as of April 24, 2023. City is requesting for the magistrate to find the violation exists and grant the property owner 63 days to get into compliance or a fine of $100 per day thereafter. The city is also requesting final order to be recorded.
Okay, Ms. Esme,
Yes.
are you in agreement to get the permit work done within the next 63 days or face a fine of $100 a day?
I'm not for sure if I want to agree to the 63 days because we did submit everything, so we're waiting on the city. Can I finish? I'm waiting for them to give me the approval for the permit, but we did submit everything.
Okay, 63 days should be sufficient. However, if you run into a problem, you can contact the inspector and request further extension.
Okay, so if I don't get the permit approval by 60 days, I can just call him.
Yes.
And
yes.
you may want to address the comments. The reason right now it's not moving forward is because the plan reviewer had comments. Those comments have not been addressed as of April 24th.
Yes, which we did go back and submitted everything that you guys asked for.
Okay, so that's also going to dictate how quickly you get your approval. Those need to be addressed in a timely manner. So 63 days should be sufficient time to come into compliance.
Okay. So within, within 30 days, if I see nothing's moving, I guess I'll contact you and you'll let me know.
Of course, absolutely.
Absolutely, that's good. All right, 63 days or $100 a day thereafter, order to be recorded.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't agree.
Our next case is also on page 10, Senior Inspector Alexander Boris. Property address 2506 Bimini Lane. Owner FLJCG Investments LLC. Case number BE 23010052. Notice posted at the property 4/17/23. Posted at City Hall 6/1/23.
You said Bimini Lane?
Yes. Good morning, Mr.
Yes,
George. Can you please raise your
Yes,
right hand?
Good morning.
Good morning. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. That is-
Alexander Alvarez, building inspector for the city, presenting case number and address as read. The property was cited for violation of Florida Building Code, section 105.1, work without permits, including but not limited to interior alteration, including but not limited to kitchen appliance relocation, bathroom alteration, new partition walls, east exterior wall opening created to access family room, new dryer vent ductwork, windows and doors, new vinyl fence at the north and south property lines, new planter walls in the front of the house, new retaining wall at the rear of the property adjacent to seawall, and new pavers at the rear of the property. The case was opened January 12, 2023. Inspection report was mailed to the property owner on January 23, 2023, with 30 days to come into compliance, and final notice was mailed on February 17, 2023. The owner has been cooperating and has applied for the required permits. A total of 6 permits are being processed right now. City is requesting for the magistrate to find that the violation exists and grant the property owner 91 days to come into compliance or a fine of $100 per day thereafter. The city is also requesting for final order to be recorded.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning. Yes, hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, ma'am.
Okay, all right, state your name for the record, please.
My name is Ferdinand George.
Right, and are you in agreement to bring the property into compliance within 91 days or face a fine of $100 a day?
I am.
Okay.
Because,
wonderful.
and the reason, if you don't mind, is, as Mr. Alvarez indicated, we are in the process. I believe we're supposed to be picking up the permit. There are factors outside of my control, but to address everything that was brought to our attention, we've been taking the necessary steps.
Okay, very good. We appreciate your cooperation. If you run into a problem, make sure you keep in touch with the inspector.
Correct, will do. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Rhonda, I'd like to add that Andre Cross's position has been, that department's been enhanced to where they're calling it permitting solutions. So if we ever hear with neighbors that want to know what the hangup is with their permitting, Al Battle and staff over in the building department created additional staff members to address any hangups that they hear of, and they're there to help from the inside to help expedite or get through any.
Do you have a phone number or an email address?
Andre Cross would be the go-to person. I'm not sure if they created a specific general email.
It's on the website? It's on the website though. Okay, so did you hear that, sir?
Andre Cross is all I heard.
Right, so what the assistant building official
Hello?
is saying
Yes.
is that if you find that you have some hangups with your permit, you can get in touch with Andre Cross. He has a group of fellow employees that are there to assist property owners in getting their permits. And you can find that information on the city's website. In addition to the inspector.
Awesome, thank you guys.
Okay, all right, so.
Okay, will do. Thank you very much.
91 days or $100 a day thereafter, order to be recorded. Okay, thank you, sir. You're free to go.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Rhonda, just so you know, it's called permitting solution at fortlauderdale.com.
Yeah.
3160. Thanks.
Our next case is on page 12, Chief George Oliva. Property address 700 Northwest 8th Ave, owner 700A C Cloud LLC. Case number BE 23010187. Notice posted at the property on 5/25/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23. They're calling your case.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
George Oliva, Chief Building Inspector for the city. We presenting case and address of threat. This is a 40-year case that they did submit the reports to us, and they need to have correction done. So at this moment, I'm gonna request 180 days for them to comply, or $100 per day thereafter.
Okay, do you need to swear this? with-
Yes. Mr. Sussman, can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay, sir, do you agree to complete the process within 180 days or face a fine of $100 a day?
I think, based on, and I did submit the initial engineering diagrams, but this may also, we're in the process of the general contractor getting bids, and it may involve shoring engineering as well. So my guess is 180 days will be a start, but I suspect it may take a bit longer than that.
Your Honor, if they need more time, the engineer has to provide me with a letter.
Okay.
Getting the time that is needed,
You
what
gotta
is the
speak up,
reason,
George.
why it's needed, and then he has to sign and seal the letter. And I will revise it, and if everything is okay, I will give him another 180.
Okay, did you understand that, sir?
Yes, and I think probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we'll have actually a better idea of where we are once we get the information back from the subcontractors of exactly what they need. And then we'll be in touch with the engineer, and we'll keep our inspector notified of our progress and if there are any issues that may need to be addressed.
Okay, all right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next case, Chief George Oliva. Also, no, it's on page 13, sorry.
Oh, like that.
Property address 744 Northwest Fifth Ave. Owner Thrive Development Group LLC. Case number BE 23010196. Notice posted at the property on 5/25/23. Posted at City Hall 6/1/23. Wait, Chief, let me swear them in first, please. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Mr. Fish. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes,
Thank you.
George Oliva, on behalf of the city, case and address as read. This is a 40-year requirement that haven't been complied, and the city will request 42 days for the owner to submit the report to the city, or $100 per day thereafter.
Okay, Mr. Fish, are you in agreement to submit the report within the next 42 days?
so I just want to say that we've been doing construction on these properties. It's like a complete, it's a complete gut out to the shell. And we've been already renovating it for probably the past 8-9 months. And we're putting an elevator, so the whole building is really changing. I'm hoping to finish the project, that particular there are 2 buildings. The building behind, we just got a certificate of completion 2 weeks ago. And I'm hoping to have this building finished in about 180 days because, we're putting in an elevator, but this is going through an extensive renovation, which I'm hoping to have done and tied up in 180 days. I was going to ask if this case, because, the whole 2 blocks are under renovation, if this case could just get thrown out, because once we're just waiting for a certificate of completion for the construction. So there's really nothing going on until the construction is done. And it's just like kind of throwing wrench into an active large project.
Your Honor, the city doesn't agree. It's a statement. The the safety inspection must be provided to the city. Even if the building is on the renovation, the engineer record has to provide the city a report. We will provide them 180-day extension to keep going with the construction. After the 180 days over, they need more time, they have to resubmit the letter from the engineer. But at this moment, they're not in compliance with the board rules and appeal. Rule 55 for the safety inspection, and the city will still report 42 days and $100 per day thereafter.
Okay, sir, do you understand? You, during the 42 days, you have to submit the report, and then you'll automatically get 180 days to complete the project. And then if it's not completed, you could always request a second 180 days by submitting another engineering report.
Right, I understand. Is there, I'm wondering if besides, just because, you know, with engineers and architects today, it's not really so easy, especially the ones on record. Everyone's very, very busy. I could get it done, but could we do that? We give like an update that we're giving you a construction update while we're going along?
No.
Instead of that?
No, that's not allowed under the rules of the program.
You must comply with the safety inspection by submitting a report regardless of what you're doing. So you have 42 days to come to us with a report for $100 per day thereafter.
Yeah, unfortunately, they don't give, the rules don't allow for much discretion as far as this safety report. So once the safety report is submitted, you'll get the 180 days and they will work with you if you need more time.
Okay,
All right, thank you very much.
thank you.
Our next case is on page 14. Property address, excuse me, 821 North Victoria Park Road. Case number BE 23010136. Owner, Lakin Babette RLB LLC, in care of Richard Lakin or Lakin. Notice posted at the property on 5/24/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23.
George, I live in behalf of the city, case and address.
Wait, second, Chief, we gotta swear him in first. Yeah, yeah. Good morning, Mr. Bagley. Can you please raise your right hand? Oh, and unmute your mic. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I do.
Thank you. All right, Chief.
George, I live in behalf of the city, case and address as read. This is a safety inspection report requirements, and they did submit the report to the city, but it needs correction. So at this moment, the city is requesting 180-day extension for the owners to comply with another report with no repair, or a letter from the engineer requesting more time, or $100 per day thereafter.
Okay, Mr. Bagley, are you in agreement to
Yes,
agree-
I'm in agreement for the 180 days. Absolutely.
Okay,
We're in the
all right.
process of doing it as we speak.
Okay, perfect. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Have a very nice day.
Our next case is at the bottom of page 14. Property address 822 Northeast 18th Ave. Owner 816 Jasmine LLC. Case number BE 23010143. Notice posted at the property on 5/24/23. Posted at City Hall 6/1/23. Good morning, Mr. Leo. Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I swear.
Thank you. Go ahead, Chief.
George, I live in behalf of the city. This is a safety inspection report requirement that haven't been submitted to the city yet. The city will recommend 42-day extension for the property owner to submit the report and $100 per day thereafter.
Morning, Mr. Leo.
Good morning.
Are you in agreement to submit the report within the next 42 days? Or
Yeah,
face it by-
Yeah, report should be being submitted next week already.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay, may I ask one question to the inspector, just since I have
Certainly.
you guys here? I just want to know, like, I have a few other buildings in the area, and how do I know when the 40 years due? Because it's not going by the actual 40 years since the building was built. So I want to make sure that I'm being proactive on the other buildings, but I can't seem to get a straight answer on how am I supposed to find out besides being, put on notice.
Well,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Mr. Leo, if you could send an email to me, I'm Tasha Williams, T.A. Williams.
T.A.
at
Williams?
at fortlauderdale.gov, Fort Lauderdale spelled out. And send me a list of your properties and I'll be happy to notify you when they'll be due.
Okay, T.A. Williams. Perfect. Thank you,
But
guys. Appreciate
you
it.
could also go on BCPA's website to see when they're due. I mean, we simply go by the actual year built. If he wants to try to figure it out on his own.
Well, but this was built in 57, so technically 40 plus 10 plus 10 would be in 2017. We bought it 2019, so.
Now, if you go to Florida Building Code, section 110, it'll also give you that scenario. If a building's built prior to
Yes.
40 years.
Okay.
Prior to 1966, it'll
It's a
give
lot
you
more
the
simple.
due dates for those as well. And keep in mind, it's no longer 40, it's now 25.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I just want to know more so I can, again, be proactive and kind of take care of it before, it's actually due. So, but I'll email William so I can get this information and you guys can keep going.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Our next case is on page 15. Chief George Oliva, property address 1060 Northeast Fifth Terrace, owner Philadelphia Fundamental Baptist Church, case number BE 23010125. Notice posted at the property on 5/24/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23. One moment. Good morning, Mr. Altador.
Good morning.
Good morning. Can you please raise your right hand?
Yes,
Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
yes, I do.
Thank you. Go ahead, Chief.
Good morning, sir. George Oliva, in behalf of the city, case and address as read. This is a requirement for the safety inspection to comply with the program from BORA. The report has not been submitted. And we're gonna request 42 days for the owner to submit the report and $100 per day thereafter.
Okay.
Oh,
Sir,
yes,
yes, please state your name for the record.
Jacques Altidore.
Okay, Mr. Altador, are you in agreement to submit the report, the 40-year inspection report within 42 days?
Oh, yes, I submit that report for the inspection, but because there was some requirement to get done. I made several contacts and I still am working in one now. The architect I have required a survey from the building, and I hire a surveyor. They already get the survey, but when he emailed it to the architect, there was a mistake in it, and the architect required to correct it. So this week, he completed that survey. He had to resubmit it to the architect. That's the reason why we don't go back yet to the beginning of the project to correct everything.
Okay, all right, so you will have 40 42 days to submit the safety report or face a fine of $100 a day. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
That's it for now. Yes. He's not on there. He's not on- he didn't sign in. Our next case is on page 3. Yes, page 3. And Building Inspector Jeff Franklin, property address 101 Southeast 23rd Street, owner Bunkhouse Holdings LLC, case number BE 23020162. Notice posted at the property on 5/24/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Forbes. Can you please raise your right hand? Oh, there's 2 of them? Oh, I'm sorry. One moment, we're gonna wait for Chad.
Okay.
Okay. Is it Chris? Good morning, gentlemen. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I do.
Thank you.
All right, good morning. Inspector Franklin on behalf of the city presenting the case as read. While I was in the area for case BE 239-29118, I discovered work being conducted at 101 Southeast 23rd Street. I observed interior remodeling. I then spoke with Eric, who was working at the property. I asked him to show the permits for the interior remodel. He showed me only the permit for the re-roof. I then contacted Chief Oliva to place a stop work order for work being done without permits. The property was cited under 91Z. Any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be a violation of this section and punishable as provided for in this section. There is construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits consisting of new wall partitions, impact door, new trusses, plumbing, electrical, and a kitchen remodel. The property was cited 2/24/2023. Notice of hearing was posted 5/25/2023. We're asking to find the violation does exist and to grant the property owner to come into compliance within the next 63 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. We also request for the order to be recorded.
Okay. Sir.
Yes.
Which one of you are going to speak on behalf of the
Yes.
property? Okay, yes. Are you?
I can. Chad Crazeman, general contractor, CLC Builders. We did have a roof permit, which the guys were up there to work and fell through the roof, so we had to rebuild it. In that process, it did end up taking down the walls because they were completely destroyed by termites, which we called our engineer to make sure that we were building it properly and strong enough that he would permit it and tell us what we had to do. So we used a 2x6 bearing wall instead of the 2x4 that was there and completely gone. Instead of using 2x6 joists, they put us 2x12s up and beyond any kind of strength that needed to be done so that the roofers could finish their project. And then, as you see, we did turn in plans and it has everything on there. We were pulling plans, but it got destroyed and we did not know how far we had to go until we had a roof on that wasn't leaking. So,
Okay. All right, so are you in agreement? What did you say, 63 days? Are you in agreement to complete the permitting process within the next 63 days or face a fine of $50 a day?
everything has been turned in. We have a permit number processing. We have all 6 permits on that project going. So, I mean, as long as the city can have it approved in time, yes, I don't have a problem with it. If there is any, if we need an extension, I will call the.
And I assume, sir, that you're not currently working at the property?
He put a stop work order, so we couldn't do anything there, which now we got to redo some of the roof,
Right,
but.
I'm just confirming that you've not, you've
There's
stopped work.
nothing has gone on.
Okay,
All we were
thank you.
doing
Okay,
was
so-
cleaning it up. Yes,
Right, so 63 days or $50 a day thereafter, and the order will be recorded. If you run into a problem, make sure you contact the inspector.
correct.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes.
We're gonna be here for another hearing. Can't we do, it's the same thing? Can we clear both of those up so we don't both have to sit here and wait again?
That case has been withdrawn.
Okay. I thank you very much then.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 4. Also, Building Inspector Jeff Franklin. Property address 2512 Cat K Lane, case number BE 23020030. Owner Jay Kane, Heathcliff Kane, and Harrison Kane. Notice posted at the property on 5/24/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23. Good morning, Mr. Stern. Can you please? Good morning, Mr. Stern. Can you please raise your right hand?
Yes. Oh, can you see me?
Yes, we can see you.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Good morning. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Sure, I do. Yes.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. Good morning once again. This is Inspector Franklin on behalf of the city presenting the case as read. I responded to a complaint with Inspector Dressel to the property. We observed a structure in the rear of the property with electric boxes and an electric fan. The property was cited under FPC 105.1. This property has been illegally altered and construction work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits consisting of new structure in the backyard with electric. The property was cited 2/6/2023. The notice of hearing was posted 5/25/2023. We're asking to find the violation does exist and to grant the property owner to come into compliance within the next 63 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. We also request for the order to be recorded.
There's a problem. This isn't my property, and I think I created the issue by inadvertently clicking into this case.
Oh,
Not inadvertently, how about mistakenly?
Oh, no, I apologize. I read the wrong case in. My apologies. It's not 2512.
I'm
It's,
at, my property is 2630 Barcelona Drive.
yes, one moment. I'll read that in now.
Okay.
Thank you for that. Property address 26 is also on page 4, 2630 Barcelona Drive. Owner Mary and Lee Rubin, case number BE 23020070. Notice posted at the property on 5/24/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23. My apologies.
Okay, so this is my case also.
Yes.
Inspector Franklin, on behalf of the city presenting the case as read, I responded to a complaint that work was being done on the dock without a permit. I observed that the framing members of the dock were altered and repaired as well as the decking boards. I discovered this work was done without a permit. The property was cited under 9(1)D. Any violation of the Florida Building Code is a violation of this section. There's construction work of this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits. Dock alteration, including framing. The property was cited 2/28. Notice of hearing was posted 5/25. We are asking to find that the violation does exist and to grant the property owner to come into compliance within the next 63 days or a fine of $50 thereafter. We also request for the order to be recorded.
Okay, sir, please state your name for the record.
Lee Stern.
Okay, Mr. Stern, are you in agreement to bring the property into compliance within the next 63 days or face a fine of $50 a day thereafter?
So I am in agreement to bring the property into compliance, and in fact, just received the plans from the engineer yesterday. So I am going to submit for the permit. I don't understand the stick that's attached to the compliance order. I've done nothing to demonstrate that my intent is not to come into compliance. I would think that, you would have read into the into the statement that the fine if I was demonstrating unwillingness, but I'm not.
Well, the fine is only if, it saves you from having to come back another time. The fine is only if you do not comply within those 63 days, then the fine begins to start. And you always can ask for an extension if you run into a problem or contact the inspector and work something out. But we do it that way so that it's more efficient that you have the 63 days, but if you don't comply within the 63 days, then the fine will start. We do that with every hearing, not just yours.
So I guess I shouldn't fight City Hall. So I am in agreement.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Power of attorney? I was.
Yeah.
Is that Mr. Newton?
His
name
is Ruben's R.
Ruben, I see his license.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Our next case is on page 20. Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez, page 20, sorry. This case was ordered to reappear. Property address 401 North Fort Lauderdale Beach Boulevard. Owner Capri Hotel LLC, case number BE 211-00366. This case was first heard on 1/20/22 to comply by 3/24/22. One section not complied at $50. There are 4 extensions noted. What else is hot this week? I'm cold. Good morning, Mr. King.
Morning,
Good morning. Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I do.
Thank you.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, case number and address as read, I'm gonna let the respondent speak.
Thank you. Yes, as some of you may recall, this is a large, long-term facade restoration project for a hotel and condo tower. It's a multi-million-dollar project. We're making great progress, close to wrapping up. Unfortunately, there's been some additional rusted beams, behind this, some of these soffits that we've had to tear out and redo, but we're wrapping up the final stages. Our timeline was to be finished by the end of June with the substantially complete. We've had a lot of rain delays, as you at City Hall know. We've had some extreme weather here that has stopped work, and the final ephes needs to be completely dry before they can finish it. So we're just hoping for some days we can get a reprieve from rain to finalize things.
How much time are you asking for?
I think we should be done by the end of July. Yeah.
Okay, the city will request a 63-day extension and an order to appear.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you a 63-day extension and ask you to come back on my calendar on August 17th. Of course, if you're done before then, you can contact the inspector and he can comply it, and then you wouldn't have to show up.
That'd be great. Hopefully that we won't see you again.
Okay. Thank you very much for your cooperation.
There's a second case attached to this because each tower has a separate parcel for the condo.
Yes, I'll read it in now.
Okay.
Property address 3101 Bayshore Drive, owner Fort Laud Residences Hotel Condo Association, case number BE 211-00368. This case was first heard on 1/20/22 to comply by 3/24/22. One section not complied at $50. Fines suspended as noted.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, case number and address as read, city is requesting for a 63-day extension and an order to reappear.
Okay, sir, you in agreement with that?
Yes, we're doing both hotels simultaneously. We're down to just one decorative arch on one side of the condo tower. So that should be done within the same time frame.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
One moment, please. Oh, yeah, Santiago. Okay. Our next case is on page 2, a new business case. Inspector Justin Dretchell, property address 412 Southwest 16th Court, case number BE 23020175, owner Santiago Gallin and Florencia Paula Menendez. Notice posted at the property on 5/24/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Justin Dreschel on behalf of the city, presenting case and address as read. I responded to this property on March 1st, 2023 as a result of a complaint and observed the following violations as depicted in the photos. 9-1D, any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be a violation of this section and punishable as provided for in this section. There is construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits, consisting of, but not limited to, a new wooden fence, which is a violation of FBC Code 105.3.1.4.18. The inspection report was sent to the property owner listed in BCPA March 1st, 2023. The final notice was sent to the property owner listed in BCPA April 5th, 2023. This case is currently not in compliance. There is a permit BLD FEN 23040051, which has been applied for, but it is still currently out for corrections. It was picked up for corrections on the 31st of May. We have not received it back yet. The city is requesting that you find that the violation exists and grant the property owner 28 days to bring the property into compliance, or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. And we also request for the order to be recorded.
Okay. Sir, Mr. Gallen,
Yes,
are you in agreement to close out this permit within the next 28 days or face a fine of $50 a day?
yes. Do I have a word to explain this situation, please?
Sure.
This was never my intention to be on this situation. I always do everything legal and 100%. I am Argentinian, but a US citizen. I'm very proud of that. And I want to be completely away of any kind of legal situations and everything. So I hire a contractor to be doing this since day -10 of the project. Always has been the idea to have a permit. I don't play my luck. So this was a big project for me. It was a lot of money. I wasn't able to rent the house because they want a new fence. People was complaining about the security of the house. So I got money for friends and family. And I just put like $20,000 on this project with permit on top of that. And since day -10, and now this bomb exploded on my hands. And I've been doing this since day #1 to try to chase the contractor, and it's been a nightmare. I don't want to take a lot of your time, guys. It's been a nightmare to beg and beg and beg to be doing this correct and fix the solution. And I've been texting 100 times. I've been talking with Justin, the inspector, like he's been amazing, always responding, always helping. And I am so glad from his help and advice for what I should be doing and how I should proceed. And I really appreciate. So the contractor is being hired as another person to do the permit. Short story, it's been like no communication between them. It's been some issues between them. I don't know if it's true or lie, but the last update that I have, it's today. They are presenting the paper in the city. So I'm doing all what I can to make this happen and just forget about all of this and don't have this situation ever again in my life because it consumes a lot of my time.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. We appreciate your cooperation and your diligence, and 28 days should be enough time, but if you run into a problem, contact Justin.
Okay, thank you so much for everyone. Justin, the inspector, thank you so much. You've been amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good
Our,
job,
ne-
Gus. Good job.
our next case is on page 7. Senior Inspector Leonardo Martinez. Property address 802 Southwest 29th Street. Owner Melissa McGriff. Case number BE 2305-0135. Notice posted at the property on 5/24/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23. Yes.
You ready?
Good morning, Ms. McGriff. Can you please raise your right hand?
Sure,
Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I do.
Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor, Inspector Martinez, in behalf of the city, case and others as read. We received a notification from our administrative assistant advising that there was no certificate of occupancy issued to this property on the master permit PM 19030355. Beside that, the master permit is expired. Which that will be addressed in another case. At the hearing that took place last month, May, we were notified by the owner that the tenant was living in the property. This property is being cited on the FBC 2020 section 111.1.1 certificate of occupancy. No building or structure should be used or occupied without a CO being issued. Inspection report and notice of hearing was mailed to the owner on May 19th of 2023. The notice of hearing was posted at the property on May 25th of 2023. We are asking your owner to find that the violation does exist and to request for the property to be vacated until the certificate of occupancy is issued or $100 per violation per day thereafter. We would like the order to be recorded and the case to come back as a massive here. And property to be vacated immediately or $100 per day thereafter.
Okay, Ms. McGriff,
Yes,
is it correct that you have tenants in there without having obtained a certificate of occupancy?
it is correct. I did not know that I did not have a certificate of occupancy. I bought this property from another owner a year and a half ago. And I bought it properly. I had a title search done. I had a settlement attorney. I have a mortgage on this, and I had no idea that I did not have a CO. The notice I got was the first indication of that. And since then, I have been able to contact the original builder because I did not buy from the builder. I bought from another person. And apparently she knows and has been working on it for obviously some time, because it's a unit of 4 townhomes and all the other 3 have them. All the inspections were done on this one. Everything is done from an inspection perspective is what I told, and I guess what I see in the record. But she said that there was an issue with a fire hydrant and the survey had to be redone. She had problems contacting the survey company. By the time all that got done, the code changed, and what's been pending is that there is an easement, around the back of the property, and everybody, all 4 units have to sign that this easement is there and accessible, and that had to be reported to I think she said the city attorney, and so she hired an attorney because she had a hard time doing that. And that is what's now being done. I've been in contact with her and the attorney. And that is the only thing that's left to be done. And then an energy efficiency document. And the builder went and gave that document on Tuesday, this past Tuesday, to Diane with the city. So I would just like the time. It said in my notice that I got that I had 90 days to come in compliance, and I would just like the time to get this last piece done with the original builder.
Magistrate, we also want to add that not only are they occupying the structure without a CO, but they also have a pool that was built entirely without a permit.
Yes, and that too was the pool. I did have notification when I bought the property that the pool was not permitted, and that the original owner, he just had to close out the permit, and he had 6 months to do that, in which he didn't do it. So I explained this last time, I then had to start that process all over again. That permit is in the process right now. It's well through. I think the next step is to have the electrical. It's when I look in the Lauderdale build, it said the next step is pending electrical from the city. But I hired a structural engineer. I hired somebody to help me run the permit process, and all that is underway.
You also leave a chief building inspector for the city. This is a very unsafe situation that we have with the pool. Besides, they have been without CO. The pool, we don't know the electrical part of the pool, which is the one that can kill a person that jumps in the water, like happened in Miami Beach a long time ago. At this moment, we're not thrilled to have somebody in that property living. Also, the pool being used. If anybody goes in the water, died because of electrocution, what we're gonna be? Who's gonna be responsible for that death? Because the city cannot be involved on allowing somebody to reside on a property that is not properly CO, or the pool is approved by the city. And the Florida statute also requires that they have to have child protection for the pool. And we don't know, because we haven't done any inspection, if that pool is protected for a child not to go in.
So regarding that, the structural engineer documented when he submitted that the electrical requirements were there. I don't know exactly what it's called, but he verified the safety of the electrical regarding the pool, and the barrier to the pool, the extra foot height has already been taken care of. So I know it's different than the CO, but I understand the importance of getting all of this corrected, and I'm doing everything I can to get it all corrected.
That the engineer sent a report, it has not been approved by the electrical department and the chief electrical Scott Dry. So still, it doesn't mean anything to the city at this moment if that pool is not safe. The only way the pool will be safe, passing all the inspection of the permit, the property cannot have somebody living inside that property.
I just want to make clear that this is about the CO. My case is about the CO.
And that's what I'm.
And that's a
struggling
major,
with, I
and
can't-
that's a major issue, you know, that by the Florida Building Code, you are not allowed to occupy a property without a CO. That's a very unsafe situation.
Okay. And, but you also stated that the permit has expired, and so does she have to do the permitting? before
Yes,
she gets
in
the
order,
CO?
yes,
So she's gonna be charged $100 a day until these people move out, and
yes,
that's what you're asking?
that's what we're requesting.
But I guess I don't understand how, when I uploaded the title search that was done, and none of this was identified in that. And I understand that it's now my problem, but I just got notification of this less than 3 weeks ago. And I think I've made a lot of progress. And from a CO perspective, all the inspections and all that are done, and that it appears to be a paperwork problem at this point. So from a safety perspective, I'm just asking for the 90 days to get in compliance with the CO, having not had notification before that to handle this.
The city doesn't support an extension.
The city would never support an extension on this property. Also, what happened between you and the title company, that's a civil matter. And you may claim them for the lack of research that they did to your property. But
I'm
this
sorry,
pro-
I couldn't understand that last comment.
He's saying that you may have a claim, a valid civil claim against your title company, which again, does not directly involve the city. That they didn't do the proper due diligence with an expired master building permit and the lack of a final certificate of occupancy, in addition to, of course, the unpermitted pool. So, but that's a separate civil matter between you and the title company. Not exactly, directly the city's area of responsibility or involvement,
Well,
unfortunately.
I uploaded the email from them and the actual search, and this did not come up on the search. It does not say they did they said that they did the property search, and this was a matter of the municipality. And I uploaded all that information.
It don't matter what the title company says. That's a private matter between them.
Yes, I understand.
Problem is the city and her, and she has a house that has a tenant inside, has a pool. We don't have a CO, we don't have final permit, the pool has never been inspected. That's
Okay,
like.
again, it's not in front of me today. However, you must understand that we cannot have people living in that property that it hasn't been properly CO'd. So what is before me today is just that the property is being occupied without a CO. So you have to vacate that property or face the fines until the CO is gotten. And then you could take that, if you incur fines, you could take that back to the title company. Whatever's that's between you and them. We can't give legal advice on that.
And also, when you come into compliance, you can apply for a lien reduction to reduce the fines once you're in full compliance.
The original notice said that I had 90 days. Why can't I have the 90 days? It said 90 days or vacate the property. Why can't I just have the additional time to get the CO taken care of? I have a tenant in there that has a year-long lease, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Did she have to 90?
The inspection report, but wasn't that sent a while ago?
Well, this just opened in May.
Yes, but under the Florida Building Code section 116.1.2, that goes away because that's an unsafe property because it has never been finished. They haven't got CO, they haven't done anything. So on the Florida statute and the Florida Building Code, the property needs to be vacated like yesterday.
I mean, it did say the IR is a courtesy notice. It is.
But if the document she gave her said she had 90 days, you want to weigh in?
Yes, because we've obviously brought it before Your Honor, before the 90 days is expired because of the nature, as the chief building inspector said, Florida statutes and the building code does deem a property without a final certificate of occupancy unsafe. And indeed, the building official has remedies to address, which can go all the way up to immediate vacation and demolition of a structure in the event that there is not a certificate of occupancy. It's by law deemed unsafe.
So why are the notices saying that she's got to have she has 90 days? She seems to be being diligent about trying to get it,
I just would say at this point, it's an error on our part. The 90 days shouldn't have been stated in the inspection report.
Standard.
It was a standard inspection report that we send because normally it takes us 90 days to get to a hearing, but because of the severity of it, it was fast tracked to a hearing.
Okay.
Also, we don't deny that she's being cooperative, but we can't support somebody living in a structure that there's potentially unsafe conditions. That's all we could say on it.
Like, if somebody dies inside that property in the pool or wherever, who's gonna carry?
If you look through this report, all the inspections were done when all the other units were inspected. The final inspection was approved in terms of the items there. This is a matter of an easement in the back of the yard, not a safety issue.
You have a pool that's adjacent to the home, that's accessible to the tenant.
Was an issue.
But
And the permit, I understand the permit, the underlying master permit is still an expired status.
Yeah, well, again, she's correct in saying that it is a paperwork issue. All the inspections have been performed. There's an issue, there's a legal issue where an easement has to be recorded. I believe she's being represented by Andrew Shine, is that correct?
He's represents the builder that has known about this, but he doesn't represent me because he can't represent me because I'm not associated with them.
Right, so, and it also is clear that the builder was aware of it, I believe you mentioned. So they were completely aware of it as far as knowing that they didn't complete the process. So you might have legal remedy against them for one. It's just a simple case where there's a pool,
But the pool is
It's
not.
not included.
I understand that.
So
I understand that, but the pool is part of the property that is being occupied.
It's in fact inspected, and it is a safe structure. Then getting people to move out on a moment's notice is difficult. So that's, if the pool had been brought with me in front of me right now, then I could see an emergent circumstance. But the fact that what is in front of me right now is a property that has been fully inspected, just hasn't gotten the last CO. So I have no evidence in front of me on this case that it's an unsafe structure. It's complicated by the fact that we know this pool issue exists, but is not in front of me today. City Attorney.
I ask
If
you're gonna obtain the CO on the property, the pool has to be permitted, has to be inspected, has to pass fire before she gets that CO. But still, the pool is part of the full package for the CO because it's required for inspection.
Diane, who's working on the CO, said that there are two things left to be done. It's the energy efficiency document and that the assessments of the signatures from each of the 4 units have to be done for the easement, and that has to be submitted to the city attorney. And the energy efficiency is done and the easement is underway. Those are the only 2 things left that have to be done according to her. And I just got the update from Andrew, the attorney, Mr. Shine, yesterday.
Ms. Martinez, did you want to add something?
No, I'm just bring the case back as a reappearance in the next 28 days. And with, I don't know, legally.
Can we order for the power, electrical power to be disconnected to
I
the
can't
pool
hear you,
pump?
George.
I'm sorry, I can't hear that part.
Can we add to the order that the electrical power to the electrical lamp, in the pool to be disconnected?
But the pool isn't in front of me today. That's
Well, it's part of the CO.
Yeah.
The electrical had to be approved with part of the CO. So everything is a piece of the pie.
Just to be clear, the pool is 100% ready for the electrical inspection. There's nothing that has to be done to have that inspection done. It's all sitting with the city, waiting on them to come inspect that. The electrical for the pool is ready for inspection.
But you continue to point the blame at the city.
You haven't
completed the permitting process.
She submitted any paper for the.
You submitted documents, but the corrections haven't been made, the permit hasn't been obtained. So, we can't put the cart before the horse.
I'm not putting the blame on the city. What I'm saying is that the pool permit is already submitted and it's there waiting. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying that it's ready to go. That is submitted. That is current.
Okay, this has been going on for about 2 years. And you're aware of it because you yourself purchased the property knowing full well that the pool was not permitted.
That's correct. I did know that the pool was not
yeah.
permitted, and I wrote it into my contract that, you know, the owner made it seem like it was just a matter of closing them out and he had 6 months to do it. And that was written into the contract. When it didn't get done, I had to take over and start the process and find somebody that was willing to take a pool that they didn't build and permit it. So yes, I did buy the pool, or I did buy the house, knowing that the permit for the pool was not there. I did not buy the house knowing that there was no CO on it. I mean, I've never heard of this in my whole life. Neither have the 12 people I've talked to about this. I am trying, I understand it is my problem now, and I'm trying everything that I can do to make it right. This property, I had a structural engineer come out for the pool, look at the electrical, it is safe. The inspections, everything inside is good to go. I'm gonna make this right. I just need a little bit of time to work through this process that I just found out about.
Well, you knew about the pool 2 years ago, so you didn't really just find out. I'd red tag the pool if the magic.
Well, that's what I'm requesting from the owner.
We do have a separate case for the pool.
Right.
It was when we were running that case for the pool where we discovered that even the house didn't have a CO. So that's how it kind of opened up a can of worms.
Okay, are you satisfied with 28 days if they disconnect the pool?
If they red tag the pool, yes, but I have to be red tagged by my inspector. And we may have to take with us an electrical inspector also at the same time. So she's gonna have to allow Leo to go back in the property and he has to have an electrical inspector with him. We just wanna make sure that it's safe.
Okay. All right, are you in agreement if I give you an additional 28 days that the pool cannot be used, it'll be red tagged during that time? Until it can be properly inspected.
The pool, until it could be inspected?
Yeah.
So can you just tell me what's gonna happen? Because I think I heard a disconnect of something or.
Yeah, what I'm trying to do, the pool's not in front of me today, okay? However, the pool does affect the CO. So what I'm trying to do is to find a common, something the city can live with and you can live with, so that I can essentially go beyond what's in front of me today on an agreed, a stipulated agreement, okay? So my question is, if I give you 28 days and during that time, the pool is red flagged, to give you an opportunity to complete the permitting on the pool and to do what you can, you can do for the CO. Are you in agreement with that?
Can I just understand what the red flag means?
The red tag would mean that the pool is not to be used. And during those 28 days, you would allow access for the inspectors to come out and verify that the electric is safe in the pool during that time.
Okay.
And then if they verify that the electric is safe during that time frame, the red tag would be lifted.
The pool was posted as unsafe already.
On May 22nd.
So the pool is unsafe.
Okay.
So we just gotta make sure that the power to the light is off and nobody's using the pool and red tag the pool so nobody goes to water.
Yeah, they came out after the pool hearing and told the tenant not to use the pool. And so that's already happened.
Okay.
Can we have an orange fence, construction fence put around it? I mean, what's to stop John from using it?
I think that the first, the pool is, I haven't seen it, but I think it's enclosed, it's like a courtyard.
It's a fenced yard.
Yeah, a fenced
The pool
yard.
itself, it's not.
Yeah.
It's fenced, yeah, but it's fenced from the outside, but you can access the pool from the back screen
From the
door.
property.
from the backsliding door.
Right, all that needs to be yellow tape, put a unsafe structure sign on it, and cut the power to the full line.
Yeah, if you cut the power.
Would it be,
No,
because,
Let's stop, yeah, right, it'll stop the pump.
The pump has a breaker, the light has another breaker. More
Because-
concerned with the light.
because,
What about if we give
Right.
28 days for the one?
She's not gonna sell the apartment in 28 days either, with either one. She has to record that easement, which is a process. Would you?
I don't have those.
Yeah, so.
May I say
Will you advise of how long that process takes as far as recording that easement? Because if it hasn't happened in 2 years, evidently there is an issue.
the main issue is that people haven't prioritized and been working on it. And that's very evident from all the work that I've done over the last 2 weeks to figure out what the hell is going on, or what is going on, excuse me.
Is the easement reporting necessary to the CO?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
condition.
And I just scratched my head wondering, if it hasn't been done in 2 years, seems to me like it's more than just recording. It seems like the document itself has issues and perhaps.
No, the document itself, I think, did have issues, and if you look on June 1st, the survey, the final survey was approved on June 1st of 2023. So I don't really know what happened and why everything was taking so long, because all the other units were issued, they were all supposed to be issued at the same time, and this one got left out because of the fire hydrant, is what I've told. And then I think it fell off people's radar because they were passing this along and it didn't come up. And I didn't know that, or else, I would have never bought a property without a CO, like anybody else. But and just in terms of the pool, because I think the electrical perspective, would it make sense, instead of having somebody to go out and do all this, just to go out and inspect it, because it's already ready to go, instead of saying that it's, tagging it as unsafe again? Should we just go out and inspect the pool, or am I missing?
Well,
something
apparently
there?
that's off the table because it's already been tagged as unsafe.
Yeah,
So not only is it not in front of me, but it's already been taken care of. So that cannot be a basis for my ruling.
okay.
So by the technicality that there was 90 days on the paperwork that we sent, so there are approximately 60 days. 63 days. Are you agree with that, Joe? 62 days?
Or 100.
63 days is not gonna solve the problem either.
Well, we have to order something.
And
Yeah,
what he
but-
did, he said 0 days.
He doesn't
He
want
did
an
order something.
extension.
So I asked the
Also,
attorney.
The city is requesting for the power to be cut off to the full line. So if that will happen and we come back in 20 days to update the magistrate, then we can go to extra days. But at this moment, we cannot allow extensions to happen. We are now safe pool, which is part of the CO, but I want to make sure that we can turn the power off to the full line. And then we can come back 28 days. Leo would update the magistrate. And then we can work with her maybe in a little more time.
Instead of.
They don't have a hearing in 28 days. If
But
you want,
on the next,
Our next year.
my next hearing is 63 days.
I think we bring it back in 28 days, unfortunately. I just was checking with the inspector. The pool case already went to a master. So it's moving very, very slowly. It's still in plan review, so we can't have inspections yet because the plans haven't been approved. It's running fines because a Massey hearing was already held. So I would suggest to try to get a resolution that probably no one's happy with, that we give 28 days, the mandatory reappearance.
35 days.
Yeah, and then it'll have to go on the other magistrate
Yep,
stuff.
35 days and then a fine of $250 a day
I agree.
thereafter, but with a mandatory reappearance. And we'll also bring the pool case back with it even though it's already in a messy. So it can be heard in total.
Okay, I think that makes sense. 35 days, you're gonna have to try to clear up this mess, and then you're gonna report back here on July 20th in front of the other magistrate, Ansbro, and report on the progress. And in the meantime, you know, and we'll be recording the order.
Melissa, can I make a suggestion to reach out to the service that we provide called Permitting Solutions at FortLauderdale.com?
There's a lot of background noise, so I can't make out what you're saying. I'm sorry.
Okay. I just want to make a suggestion for you to reach out to a service that we provide to where we could perhaps expedite the permitting for you at least so that we could at least come up with, get a resolution to that issue.
Okay.
And I'd probably, plead with the building official, John Travers, to see if there's if there's anything that he could do to support the issue with having to vacate the property, being that it's just a paperwork issue. It's a stretch, but it's an option that you could explore.
Can you give her the info, Joe?
I'm sorry,
Can you give her the info?
John Travers.
No, the permitting solutions.
Yes, yeah, I did permitting solutions. Do you have that?
Permit solution.
Permit solutions. That's permit.
Permit solutions, sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. Permit solutions. You have my emails. You have my email as well. So if any information I'm giving
Send
you.
email to you and you forward.
Yeah, if you can't get the correct email, feel free to email me and I'll get you in contact with the right people.
Okay.
Also, ma'am, the phone number for the Permit Solutions Division is 954-828-3160.
Okay, thank you. And who was the gentleman that was just speaking that said that I could reach out to him?
Joe Pasquarello.
Oh, okay. Yes, I do have your contact, Joe. Thank you.
Yeah, we spoke a couple times on the
We
phone.
did. Yes.
Okay, hopefully this can get resolved.
Yeah.
It's 35 days and everyone works together, and I thank you for your time.
The order to be recorded.
I just want to clarify that all I need to do right now is make sure that I'm here for the hearing in 35 days and try to work through everything in the meantime. Is that correct?
Yes, and I would urge you, and you could tell them that you went to this hearing and that I urged you to do the permit solutions thing so that everyone is coordinating and trying to move as quickly as possible on this.
Okay, thank you.
Melissa, we would like an update on knowing what's happening with that easement being recorded. And also for you to push your contractor to make the corrections necessary so that the permit can get approved. A lot of times, it's because we're waiting for your architect or engineer to pick up the plans to submit the corrections. And there's months that are, there's delays because of that.
Understand. Yeah. Just one more note on that. Each of the 4 people have to sign and notarize and get that back. As of right now, 2 of us are done, signed, notarized, and the lawyer has that. One of them, we've been in contact with the real estate agent, and he's working on it, and they're just having a hard time getting one guy to respond. They're sending him a certified letter that he must respond. The problem is that they have a CO, so they're not as motivated to get this done. But he's sending them a certified letter, and we're meeting weekly to get this resolved.
Okay, all right, 35 days or $250 thereafter, and an order to be recorded.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And reappear, yes, in 35 days.
Okay.
Our next case is on page 1, new business case. Inspector Linda Holloway, property address 401 Coconut Isle Drive. Owner Dorota Isaka. Case number BE 23020065. Notice posted at the property on 5/31/23. Posted at City Hall 6/1/23. Right, I wanna make sure. Good morning, Ms. Wasaka. Can you please raise your right hand?
Yes,
Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
yes.
Thank you.
Good morning, Inspector. Inspector Linda Holloway on behalf of the City of Fort Lauderdale Building Division presenting case BE 23020065, property address 401 Coconut Isles Drive. The property was inspected on February 9th, 2023, and the following violation was observed as depicted on the photos. 9-1D. Any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be a violation of the section and punishable as provided for this section. There is construction work at this property that has started or completed without obtaining the required permits, consisting of, but not limited to, a wall erected without first obtaining a permit. On February 10th, an inspection report was mailed to the owner on Broward County Property Appraiser's website. March 1st, 2023, the application and plans for fence permit BLD FEN 2303004 were submitted. March 14th, 2023, the application and plans were taken out for corrections and not have yet been resubmitted. I have been in contact with the owner of the property. The city is requesting 28 days to comply or $100 a day thereafter, and request that this order be reported. And the owner is here and she would like to speak.
Oh, yes. Well, first of all, I just would like everyone to know that this wasn't a new, the wall was always there. My property was vandalized and destroyed. So the wall was before for years, and I bought the property with the wall. And I didn't know, one day I came home and my plants and bushes were pulled out and the wall was destroyed. And it took me a while to figure out who did that. And I found out that it was contractor next door. And then he started parking his working equipment, his building debris and materials were on my side. So I just put the wall back as soon as possible. The foundation of the wall, everything was left, just the part of the wall was destroyed. And I filed the police report, I hired attorney. And in the meantime, I just put basically fixed whatever was damaged on my property. They trespass illegally my property. And I just fixed it. And I wasn't aware that I needed a permit for that. So since that, I'm trying to cooperate. I know that I'm supposed to get a permit for this piece of wall. The foundation was there, so I didn't really change anything. And I apply for the permit, and I'm supposed to get the corrections from the engineer. I'm waiting for the letter from the engineer right now.
Okay, so 28 days should be ample time for you to get that done.
If possible, I really would like to ask a little bit more. As I mentioned to the inspector, I have issues with my mom, and we actually going to Europe for a while. So if possible, if I could have a little bit more time just to make sure that I have enough
How
time.
much time are you asking for?
Well, I'm not sure, like maybe 60 days if possible.
Because the wall, the way it is, it does obstruct the flow of oncoming traffic if backing out of that property. Maybe we could go with 42 days. That should be sufficient time.
Okay, is that okay with you, 42 days?
That's fine. Yes, thank you. Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you very much. 42 days or $100 a day thereafter and order to be reported.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Your
you.
Honor.
Nothing. Bye-bye.
Our next case is a hearing to impose fines on page 19. Senior Inspector Mary Rich, property address 512 Northwest 15th Terrace. Owner Nirav Patel, case number BE 221000120. This case was first heard on 3/16/23 to comply by 4/27/23. One section not complied at $100. Total fines $4,800. So we have Nirav and Sonia. Excuse me.
Hello,
He was there. Okay.
can you see me?
Yes,
you
we
hear me?
can.
Okay, can you hear me?
Good morning. Yes. Good morning, Mr. Patel. Can you please raise your right hand?
Sure.
Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Good morning, Inspector. Inspector Rich for the city of Fort Lauderdale. Case and address are as read. And this is actually a request for an extension of time. I have been in contact with the property owner and the property manager, Sonia. They're having trouble obtaining a permit for the driveway that was installed without a permit. So the city is all right with giving an extension of 63 days. They have been in constant contact with me via email and phone. I'll let them speak.
Mr. Patel, are you in agreement with a 63-day extension?
Yes, if that's possible.
Yes, I'll give you 63 days. If you run into a problem, make sure you contact the inspector.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there anything we can do about the fines as far as either staying or
Yeah, the
waiving the
fines,
fine?
the fines will be stayed during those 63 days.
Okay, what
but
about the
once-
fine? I'm sorry.
So once the property is brought into compliance, then you'll have to come back and address the fines that have already accrued. I cannot reduce fines while the property's not in compliance.
Okay, and so we're just gonna stay, is there any way we can backdate the stay for the fines, or that's
No.
not possible? Okay,
No, I can't do that at this time. I have to seek compliance and then I might show leniency on the fines that have accrued.
okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, at this time I have to check. There are some people signed in and I'm not sure what case they're here for. So I'll go through and check those. Good morning, Ms. Ortega. Can you let me know what case you're here for, please?
Good morning. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. To be honest, we were at the last magistrate hearing on May 18th and we're given 28 days to comply for a permit. But we never were noticed or received any letter in the mail. At 7 o'clock last night, I received a Zoom link to appear for this hearing. So I don't know if I'm on your panel.
What's the property address, please?
2841 North Ocean Boulevard. I never received a notice for the hearing other than just a Zoom link last night.
Yes, we do not have you on today's agenda.
Okay.
I'm not sure why you received a Zoom link, so disregard it, please.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good morning, Kai Novat. Can you let me know what property you're here for today? The address, please?
2471 East Commercial Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale.
H1, it's closed.
Okay, that case is closed.
I'm sorry?
That case has been closed.
So there's no issue. We're in compliance then?
Is it compliant?
Yeah.
Yes, complied and closed.
Wonderful.
This is Hot Lakes, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Is it?
have a great day.
Just for the record, I just sat here for 2 hours. I'm wondering why I wasn't notified or anything.
Actually, you were. Diana sent an email. Someone registered for this hearing and Diana Cahill replied back with an email saying that your case was complied.
All right, well, that I appreciate, but I guess that's no problem. We must have just miscommunicated.
And that was a couple of days.
Good, yeah, no problem, but yeah, whatever, crazy. Thank you very much.
Okay, Marlene Denhart, can you let me know what case you're here for today? What property address? Ms. Denhart? Okay. Okay, and Doretta, she's already spoken, she's, okay. Timothy and Wilfredo, we did not receive a power of attorney for you. So we cannot allow you to speak at today's proceedings unless we receive that. You were notified via email. Hello? Timothy, Mr. Hanrahan?
Hold on, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm work for the owner.
Okay, for 2525 North Federal Highway? Yes, we have not received your power of attorney. So until we receive that, you won't be allowed to speak at today's proceedings. We have to have a power of attorney.
All right.
That's for you and Mr. Perez.
We were told you could listen to the meeting.
We get a 80-day extension or whatever since the report has been filed.
Right, we can't hear the case until we receive a power of attorney.
Yeah, they can listen.
Oh, yes, well, you can listen, the case will be presented, you can listen to the results, but you won't be allowed to speak at today's proceedings unless we receive that.
Okay. So are we
Okay.
next or what? Listen or what?
Yes, you can listen.
All right.
Not asked. They know that, right?
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna start back.
That's all.
Yeah, that Marlene person, she didn't have audio, so I don't know what's going on. Okay, let's go back to page 2, I think it is. Yes, 2 at the bottom. Inspector Justin Dreschel, property address 1532 Ponce de Leon Drive. Owner Sharif Mina or Mina Roberts, Jeffrey B. Cantor, case number BE 23010030. Notice posted at the property on 5/26/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23.
Justin Dreschel on behalf of the city presenting case and address as read. Inspector Suarez originally responded to this property on January 13th, 2023 and observed the following violation as depicted in his photos. 8-144.6. There are attachments penetrating the city of Fort Lauderdale seawall, and as per the resolution, no penetration is permitted. Also, there is a sign in the swale and dock area that per the resolution needs to be removed. Inspection report was sent to the property owner listed in BCPA February 8th, 2023. Final notice was sent to the property owner on March 21st, 2023. After a review with zoning chief Bert Ford, this case is not in compliance due to an engineer letter not being submitted to the city for review at this time. The city requests that you find that the violation exists and grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. And we also request for the order to be recorded. Thank you.
Part of the findings.
Moving on to page 4, no, not page 4. Oh, yes. Property address 2512 Cat K Lane, Inspector Jeff Franklin. Case number BE 23020030. Owner Jade Kane, Heathcliff Kane, and Harrison Kane. Notice posted at the property on 5/24/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23.
This is Inspector Franklin on behalf of the city presenting the case as read. I went with Inspector Dreschel to the property responding to a complaint. We observed the structure in the rear of the property with electric boxes and electric fan. The property was cited under FBC 105.1. This property has been illegally altered and construction work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits, consisting of a new structure in the backyard with electric. The property was cited on 2/6/23. We're asking to find the violation does exist and to grant the property owner to come into compliance within 63 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. We also request for the order to be recorded.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Moving on to page 5, Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez. Property address 809 Northeast 16th Ave. Owner Mazel Investment 16 LLC. Case number BE 22120019. Notice posted at the property on 5/25/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23.
Inspector Martinez for the city presenting case as read. Building or structure that, in the opinion of the building official, are become unsafe or which have been substantially damaged or otherwise shall be deemed unsafe buildings, and a permit shall be obtained to demolish the structure or bring the building to comply with the applicable codes. This construction site has been abandoned since 2006 and rebar is exposed. Due to the owner being unwilling or unable to maintain the property according to the minimum standards, the city is requesting the following: that in the next 60 days, the owner applies for the required permits to bring the property into compliance with signed and sealed submittal documents from a licensed design professional, including an accurate itemized cost to restore the structure to meet standard for human occupancy and to meet minimum housing standards. Or apply for demolition permit to demolish the unsafe, unhabitable structure, including all accessory structures on the parcel. In the event the owner does not apply for the permits and move forward with the rehabilitation or demolition of the property, the city will move forward with the demolition, including all accessory structures on the parcel at owner's expense, and may lien the property to recover the demolition cost.
Property address 82.
Wait. For the order to be recorded.
Property address 821 Northeast 16th Ave, owner Mazel Investment 16 LLC, case number BE 22120020. Notice posted at the property on 5/25/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23.
Inspector Martinez for the city presenting case as read. Building or structure that, in the opinion of the building official, are become unsafe or which have been substantially damaged or otherwise shall be deemed unsafe building. Thank you. And a permit shall be obtained to demolish the structure or bring the building to comply with the applicable code. The construction site has been abandoned since 2006 and rebar is exposed. Due to the owner being unwilling or unable to maintain the property according to the minimum standards, city is requesting the following: that in the next 60 days, the owner applies for the required permits to bring the property into compliance with signed and sealed submittal documents from a licensed design professional, including an accurate itemized cost to restore the structure to meet standard for human occupancy and to meet minimum housing standard. Or apply for a demolition permit to demolish the unsafe, compatible structure, including all accessory structures on the parcel. In the event the owner does not apply for the permits and move forward with the rehabilitation or demolition of the property, the city will move forward with the demolition, including all accessory structures on the parcel at owner's expense, and may lien the property to recover the demolition cost. The city requests the order to be recorded.
Property address 825 Northeast 16th Ave, owner Mazel Investment 16 LLC. Case number BE 22120021. Notice posted at the property 5/25/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23.
Inspector Martinez for the city presenting case as read. Buildings or structures that in the opinion of the buildings or structures that in the opinion of the building official are become unsafe or which have been substantially damaged or otherwise shall be deemed unsafe buildings, and a permit shall be obtained to demolish the structure or bring the building to comply with the applicable code. This construction site has been abandoned since 2006 and rebar is exposed. Due to the owner being unwilling or unable to maintain the property according to the minimum standards, the city requesting the following: that in the next 60 days, the owner applies for the required permits to bring the property into compliance with signed and sealed submittal documents from a licensed design professional, including an accurate itemized cost to restore the structure to meet standard for human occupancy and to meet housing standards, or apply for demolition permit to demolish the unsafe, unhabitable structure, including all accessory structures on the parcel. In the event the owner does not apply for the permits and move forward with the rehabilitation or demolition of the property, the city will move forward with the demolition, including all accessory structures on the parcel at owner's expense and may lien the property to recover the demolition cost
So ordered.
and to record the order.
So
Page 6 at the top, property address 841 Northeast 16th Ave, owner Mazel Investment 16 LLC, case number BE 22120022. Notice posted at the property 5/25/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23.
Inspector Martinez for the city presenting cases read. Buildings or structures that in the opinion of the building official have become unsafe or which have been substantially damaged or otherwise shall be deemed unsafe buildings, and a permit shall be obtained to demolish the structure or bring the building to comply with the applicable code. This construction site has been abandoned since 2006 and rebar is exposed. Due to the owner being unwilling or unable to maintain the property according to the minimum standards, the city is requesting the following: that in the next 60 days, the owner applies for the required permits to bring the property into compliance with signed and sealed submittal documents from a licensed design professional, including an accurate itemized cost to restore the structure to meet standards for human occupancy and to meet minimum housing standards, or apply for demolition permit to demolish the unsafe, unhabitable structure, including all accessory structures on the parcel. In the event the owner does not apply for the permit and move forward with the rehabilitation or demolition of the property, the city will move forward with the demolition, including all accessory structures on the parcel at owner's expense, and may lien the property to recover the demolition cost. And the order to be reported.
At the bottom of page 6, Senior Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 213 Royal Palm Drive, case number BE 22080305. Owner, More Revocable Trust, Louis Claps, trustee, and all others. Notice posted at the property on 5/24/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23.
Building Inspector Leo Martinez representing the city, case and others as read. I visited this property the first time with Inspector Tom Colley, who is no longer in our division. There was a worker closing with cinder block and exterior window opening, and there were other workers inside of the property doing some type of demolition. Inspector Tom Colley posted a stop work order. Reading Tom's notes, it appears they informed Tom they hired a contractor and they were preparing to apply for permits. All this started on September of 2022. On March of this year, the case was assigned to me. We received a complaint that work was taking place in the property again. Before going to the property, I searched for permits and there was a permit applied on November of 2022, which the description is fixing code violations for block windows and electrical wiring. Upon arriving to the property, I found an electrician and his helper changing two electrical panels. I asked them to stop the work and leave the property, and I posted a second stop work order. The property was cited for work without permit on the Florida Building Code 2020, Section 105.1. This case was open and inspection report was mailed to the property owner on September 31st of 2022. Final notice was mailed to the property owner on March 27 of 2023, and the notice of hearing was posted at the property on May 25th of 2023. There is a permit applied on 2022 September. The permit is awaiting for plans. They just put the permit application and they did submit anything else. We're asking your owner to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 28 days to come into compliance or fines of $50 per violation per day thereafter, and the order to be recorded. Thank you, Your Honor.
Moving on to page 7, property address 259 Kansas Ave. Owner Daniel Pritzel, case number BE 23050065. Notice posted at the property on 5/24/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23.
Building Inspector Leo Martinez presenting the case and others as read. On my way to an inspection, I observed this structure that was built on the swell area. I tried to make contact with the owner, but nobody was home. The property was cited for work without permit on the Florida Building Code 2020, Section 105.1. Inspection report and the notice of hearing was posted at the property on May 25th of 2023. Daniel Pritzel, who is the owner of the property, by the way, that person is very ill. He's very ill. He contacted me and I asked Mr. Pritzel, because I couldn't understand him too well, to give me his email. And I sent him an email about our phone conversation, explaining that in order for the whole case to be compliant, he needs to apply and obtain the required permits, or he can remove the structure. Okay, we are asking your owner to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 28 days to come into compliance or fines of $50 per violation per day thereafter. The order to be recorded too.
Property address 704 Southeast 25th Ave, owner Endless Investments LLC, case number BE 23010200. Notice posted at the property on 5/24/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23.
Building Inspector Leo Martinez representing the city, case and others as read. I visited this property on February 2nd of 2023. Upon arrival, I met with a worker that tried to contact the owner after I requested entrance into the property. The entrance was denied. I was told that they were waiting for the owner's approval to let me in. While waiting, standing by the front door, I was able to take some pictures of the interior. I was able to confirm that an interior demolition took place without obtaining first the required permits. I issued a stop work order. The property was cited for work without permit on the Florida Building Code 2020, Section 105.1. This case was opened on February 1st of 2023. The final notice was mailed out to on March 9th of 2023, and the notice of hearing was posted at the property on May 25th of 2023. A carport demolition permit is in process. No interior demolition permit has been applied. We're asking your owner to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 56 days to come into compliance or fines of $50 per violation per day thereafter, and the order to be recorded. Thank you.
Next case is on page 8. Property address 941 Southwest 29th Street. Case number BE 23030030. Property was posted at City Hall 6/1/23, posted at property 5/24/23.
Building Inspector Leo Martinez, representing the city, case and others as read. I visited this property with the Inspector Jeff Franklin, and we observed new windows and doors, new AC split, and new dry vents. The property was cited for work without permit and change of for work without permit under RPC 2020 Section 105.1. Inspection report was sent to the property owner on March 3rd of 2023. The final notice was mailed to the property owner on April 7 of 2023. The notice of hearing was posted at the property on May 25th of 2023. As today, a windows and door permit was applied on June 5th of 2023. The permit is in process. No other permit has been applied. I received a call yesterday from the contractor. They are applying for the AC and they are planning to remove the dry vents. So we are asking your owner to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 56 days to obtain the required permits to come into compliance, or fines of $50 per violation per day thereafter, and the order to be recorded.
Next case, the middle of page 8, case number BE 23030031. Property address 1010 Southwest 30th Street. Owner 1010 Southwest 30th Street, LLC. Posted at property May 24th, 23, posted at City Hall, June 1st, 23.
Building Inspector Leo Martinez representing the city, case analysis is read. I visited this property with Inspector Jeff Franklin. I observed a Unit B that appears completed remodel, and Unit A was in the remodeling process. No workers were at the property at the time of the inspection. I posted on a store work order. The property was cited for work without permits on the Florida Building Code 2020, Section 105.1. This case was open and inspection report was mailed to the property owner on March 3rd of 2023. The final notice was mailed to the property owner on April 7th of 2023. The notice of hearing was posted at the property on May 25th of 2023. Permit for windows and door was applied. No other permit has been applied. We're asking your owner to find that the violation exists and to grant property owner 56 days to come into compliance, or fines of $50 per violation per day thereafter. And the order is to be recorded. Thank you, Your Honor.
At the bottom of page 8, Senior Inspector Alexander Albores, property address 518. Excuse me. Northwest 17th Ave, case number BE 22110022, owner 3I Power LLC. Notice delivered via certified mail on 5/25/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23.
Alexander Alvarez, building inspector for the city, on behalf of Inspector Cody, who no longer works at this division, presenting case number and address is read. Property was cited for violation of Florida Building Code Section 105.1, works without permit, including but not limited to new pavers installed. Case was opened on November 3rd, 2022. Inspection report mailed to the property owner 11/3, 2022, with 30 days to get into compliance. Final notice was mailed on December 14, 2022. Records show no permit application that addresses the violation as of June 2nd, 2023. City is requesting for the magistrate to find the violation exists and grant property owners 63 days to come into compliance, or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. City is also requesting for final order to be reported.
So Inspector, could I just take personal privilege and edit the inspector's request, because this case was started in 2022 and no permit's been applied and the property owner isn't here. So my suggestion, Your Honor, would be that we give them 28 days to comply instead of 56.
How much fine you request?
$50 per day there.
Can we go raise the request to 100?
Alex, has there been any communication with the owner?
No, and
No communication?
no communication. One of the postings, there's two separate cases, same owner, adjacent property. There's been issues with the postings as well.
Postings?
Yes, the owner is very, gets upset and
So he is aware of it.
So there's someone to do for.
Right.
So are we gonna do the fine for $100?
Sure.
He's what?
So what is it?
So 28 days or $100 a day thereafter, in order to be recorded, is that right?
Your Honor, if I could, I think we should withdraw this case and bring it back, because I'm just looking and there was a quitclaim deed issued, or recorded on May 31st, changing the ownership to Glenn Campbell. Who did we send the notice of hearing to? I know, but it's a different owner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
If we,
what he said.
He owns the LLC.
Isn't he the dead?
no, I understand, but it's a different owner. So if it's an LLC, that's one owner.
Yeah.
Even if it's the same individual, we need to still properly cite.
Yeah, 3I.
Okay, so, Your Honor, we'd like to withdraw the case and we'll just bring it back.
Okay.
You know, Greg Campbell, you
Which
put
one?
one to good.
Yeah, he's the reparation, so he got notice.
He did get notice, and so when we bring it back, we'll ask for a very short amount of time, if in fact,
I find.
and high fines.
That's 200.
Last year, it's on these properties.
That's a different story.
I don't have to redo those.
No.
Like,
Page 9 at the top, property address 717 Northwest First Street. Owner Kravis Holdings LLC, case number BE 22110007. Notice posted at the property 4/17/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23.
Alexandra Boris Building Inspector for the city presenting case number and address is read. Property was cited for violation of Florida Building Code Section 105.1, work without permits, including but not limited to mezzanine structure. The case was opened November 1, 2022. Inspection report mailed to the property owner December 14, 2022, with 30 days to get into compliance. Final notice was mailed on February 1st, 2023. I have been in communication with the owner, who has informed me that the mezzanine structure will be demolished. City is requesting for the magistrate to find that the violation exists and grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance, or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. City is also requesting for final order to be recorded.
Property address 1400 Northeast 53rd Court. Owner Modern Apartments LLC, case number BE 23030211. Notice posted at the property 5/26/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23.
Alexandra Boris Building Inspector for the city presenting case number and address as read. This is a 3-story apartment building with an elevator and 2 stairwells. Initially visited the property to investigate a complaint and found the north metal stair showing severe deterioration and structurally compromised. North stairwell was posted unsafe. Also during this inspection, I observed some concrete falling at the rear balconies. A letter dated March 29, 2023, prepared by Marlon Brinson, Consulting Engineer, PE 60749, was received. Letter indicates that a structural assessment evaluation of the property was performed, and it was determined by the engineer that the north side stairwell is structurally compromised and must be decommissioned immediately. The rear balcony railings were also inspected by the engineer and were found to be structurally sound, with bottom rail anchors adequately embedded into the reinforced concrete balcony floor and the balconies are safe to remain in present use. Property was cited for violation of Florida Building Code, Broward County Amendment 2020, Section 116.1 of safe structures. Buildings or structures that, in the opinion of the building official, are become unsafe, or which have been substantially damaged or otherwise shall be deemed unsafe. Buildings and a permit shall be obtained to demolish the structure or bring the building to comply with the applicable codes. Property was also cited for violation of City Ordinance 9-280C, stairwells, porches, balconies, hallways, corridors, exterior sidewalks. There is deterioration to the metal stairwell on the north side of the building and concrete falling in multiple balconies at the rear of the building. The building balconies and stairwells are in disrepair. Records show permit application BOD-CILT 230400031 for stair replacement status currently being processed. I have been in communication with the owner. She appears that she's willing to communicate. I spoke with her this morning as well. City is requesting for the magistrate to find that the violation exists and grant the property owner 35 days to come into compliance, or a fine of $100 per day thereafter. City is also requesting for the order to be recorded in a mandatory appearance at next month hearing to provide a progress update. as to the status of the building.
That's one for 9280C, correct?
Correct.
So order.
Moving on to, excuse me, page 11. Property address 3351 Southwest 13th Ave, owner Schaefer Industries, Inc. Case number BE 23010013. Notice posted at the property on 4/21/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23.
Alexander Abores, building inspector for the city, presenting case number and address as read. Property was cited for violation of Florida Building Code, section 105.1, work without permits, including but not limited to steel storage racks installed in unit 3351. This case was opened January 4th, 2023. Inspection report mailed to the property owner January 6th, 2023, 30 days to get into compliance. Final notice was mailed on February 14th, 2023. The owner has applied for a permit. Permit is not yet issued. City is requesting for the magistrate to find that the violation exists and grant property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. City is also requesting for final order to be recorded.
So order.
Moving on to page 12 at the top, Chief George Oliva, property address 520 Northeast 13th Street, owner Landmen Group LLC, case number BE 23010096. Notice posted at the property on 5/25/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23.
Joshua Lee, on behalf of the city, case and address as read. This is a safety inspection report that was submitted to the city, but it needs correction. So the city is requesting 180-day extension and $100 per day thereafter.
Page 14, property address 819 Northwest 7th Ave, owner Star Property 8 LLC, case number BE 23010160. Notice posted at the property on 5/25/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23.
Joshua Lee, on behalf of the city, case and address as read. The city is requesting for the owners to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or $100 per day thereafter.
So order.
Moving on to page, excuse me.
What page was that?
I'm sorry, page 16 at the top, property address 1101 Northwest 55th Street, owner John T. Butler, case number BE 23010055. Notice posted at the property on 5/25/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23.
Joshua Lee, on behalf of the city, case and address as read. The city is requesting for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the safety report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
Property address 1122 Northwest 9th Ave, owner Restoring Grace Community Church, Inc. Case number BE 23010102. Notice posted at the property on 5/24/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23.
Joshua Lee, on behalf of the city is requesting for the owner to come into compliance in the next 42 days by submitting the report or $100 per day thereafter.
Property address 1220 Northwest 23rd Ave, owner Northwest 23rd Realty LLC, in care of Superior Printing Inc., Co. Inc., case number BE 23010090. Notice posted at the property on 5/25/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23.
The owner did submit the report, but they need corrections. So the city is requesting 180-day extension and $100 per day thereafter.
Page 17, property address 2132 East Oakland Park Boulevard. Case number BE 23010081, owner Harry Watermeyer Jr. Revocable Livable Trust. Notice posted at the property on 5/24/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23.
Joshua Lee, for the city is requesting for the owner to come into compliance in the next 42 days, or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
Property address 2525 North Federal Highway, owner Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, number 6, Inc. Case number VE 23010076. Notice posted at the property on 5/25/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23.
The owner did submit the reports to the city, but they need correction. So the city requesting 180-day extension to comply and $100 per day thereafter.
And just for everyone's edification, because I was looking, if there's future appearances on the power of attorney, the owner, which is listed as Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, number 6, Inc., is an inactive Florida corporation. So currently, there's no one to speak on behalf of them.
Okay, noted. Page 18, property address 2787 East Oakland Park Boulevard, owner NT Properties LLC, case number VE 23010059. Notice posted at the property on 5/24/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23.
Joshua Oliva for the city. Case and address as read. The city is requesting 42 days for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report or $100 per day thereafter.
Property address 3051 Northwest 19th Street, owner MNS Investment Properties LLC, case number BE 23010085. Notice posted at the property on 5/24/23, posted at City Hall 6/1/23.
Joshua Oliva for the city. This case is in compliance. The report was submitted this morning to me and no repairs are required. So this case is gonna be closed when I get back to the.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to page 19, for hearing to impose fines, property address 528 Northwest First Ave, owner Fact Village Project LLC, in care of Hines. Case number BE 210700309. Note, this case was first heard on 1/20/22 to comply by 7/19/22. One section complied at $100. Total fines $2,500. City is requesting to reduce fines to administrative cost of $525.
Yeah, the building was demolished.
Property address 2895 Northeast 32nd Street, owner Waterside on the Intercoastal Condo. Case number BE 22070196. The city is requesting to vacate the previous orders from September 15, 2022 and May 18, 2023. And the case will be closed. And at this time, Your Honor, we would like to have all the cases that are listed on page 22 into the record as withdrawn or closed. Thank you. And this concludes our June 15, 2023 special magistrate hearing for the building division.